Here's your KSMC St. Mary's Sports Update with Brandon Cadiz. It was a loaded week of sports here in Moraga, with men's and women's soccer closing out their conference schedule, volleyball with their last home game of the year, and the opening of women's basketball. Number 12 men's soccer secured back-to-back West Coast Conference titles after a hard-fought victory against the Loyola Marymount Lions 2-0. St. Mary's got the scoring started early on Saturday as they tallied their first goal of the match in just the 11th minute of action. Philippe Vanderlof took control of a breakaway at midfield before feeding the ball to Jake Rudil.
Nice little ball over Vanderlof. Vanderlof to Rudil. Rudil, can you capitalize? And the Gales strike first!
Anders Engebretsen clinched the title in the 87th minute. Sebastian Schott set up Engebretsen, who juked his defender and went top shelf with his team leading 13th goal of the season. For the second straight season and third time in program history, St. Mary's hoisted the WCC Championship hardware. To the women's side in the final home game of the season, as the Gales were edged out by the number 20 Santa Clara Broncos at home, as Santa Clara wasted no time on Wednesday, securing a goal with less than 2 minutes into the match. Broncos' Kelsey Turnbow off a volley set the ball over the head of Malia Milner.
Can't get it through, and the shot, the goal, and Santa Clara scores just like that, and no other than Kelsey Turnbow that we mentioned. It was just off a deflection and had the right footing on that one to go up high.
In the 56th minute of action, Santa Clara scored on a PK to make it 2-0, and the Gales got their own goal of the game in the 71st minute, thanks to a PK opportunity by Kylie Glock, nailing her first goal of the season. With only 17 minutes left, it was too late for the Gales. St. Mary's was outshot 15-7 in the contest, as the Gales would finish their record at home at 6-3-1.
Now over to Ferguson. Ferguson taking things there, and it's stolen away by Hay. Turnovers, not what you want to see early on for St. Mary's, as the Gales this season averaging 17 turnovers. Again, in that road trip and to BYU. BYU started off strong on a 17-0 run, where the Gales had multiple turnovers within the first 3 minutes of the game, as Wolf will fire for three, and Santa Clara starts it off with an early 5-0 run. Wolf, a great three-point shooter, shooting 37% from the field for the sixth-year senior. Give and go here to Whedon, kicks it out to Ferguson in the corner, back out to Simons. Simons looking to get something going for the Gales and able to trickle that one through for the first bucket for SMC. Sam Simons coming off a performance last time out, taking on the Pacific Tigers. Simons had 22 points and 7 rebounds, shot 9 of 15 from the field, and a perfect 3 for 3 from the free throw line. Crossover move by Hay that time, trying to feed down low, almost stolen away by Ferguson to Hurley. It's tipped off the hands of Simons and now into the hands of Simonich. Holland pushing the pace over to Simons, thought about it, a hesitation move, backs down her defender, goes up, no whistle. They're going to say that one was off of Jimenez. Naomi Jimenez averaging 2.3 points per game. Started the last time out in 17 minutes, taking on the San Diego Toreros in that upset win. She had 2 points and 4 rebounds, adding on to her total box score there with an assist, a steal, and a block. Nice little flare screen there by Ferguson. Whedon behind the back move. Crosses over with 8 seconds on the shot clock, and just miscommunication that time between Holland and Whedon. Holland was going one way as Whedon was just trying to deliver that pass. St. Mary's now with 2 early turnovers. As Simons the lone bucket for the Gales. Emily Wolf with a three-pointer, and Jimenez with an elbow jumper. And speaking of it, Jimenez had it. Now over to Tia Hay. Over to Emily Wolf. As we talked to head coach Paul Thomas pregame, they said they got to do a great job, and that's a big-time rejection for Maddie Holland. Wow. What a block by Holland. Almost like a volleyball spike, setting into the direction of the cheerleaders here in the corner of that basket. It'll be Hay inbounding. Over to Wolf, working on Whedon. trying to get for a step-through move, and that one just can't fall through, but it's rebounded up and put up by Veal. Offensive rebound results in an opportunity there. Whedon for three in transition, and that's good. Tacey Whedon with her first three-pointer of the contest as the Gales trail by 2 now. Boy, is Emily Wolf good at driving inside, too. You saw that on that attempt where Whedon contested it defensively on the last play. And we got a bunch of bigs for Santa Clara that can really pick and pop. Ashlyn Herlihy, Lauren Yearwood, and also starting now as Coach Bill Carr has implemented Meryl Veal out of Göttingen, Germany, the junior forward, transfer out of Western Nebraska Community College. Lowers Hay, really likes to drive and set things up for her teammates just like that. On the mark for Jimenez. And Jimenez has been fed at the elbow constantly, and she thrives on that early on. Here comes the Gales to Simonich. Simonich is pressured as the Gales are disrupted there in the full court pressure, and Simons buries a three for the Gales. The two sophomores waiting, and now Simons with back-to-back threes. And it's a three-point shooting for SMC early on. They have 2 3-pointers as Veal just can't finish it. A nice inside right-handed finish, can't get it through. Has to look out for her defender right behind her. Nice pass down low, working her way. Finds Simonich. Simonich not known for her three-point shooting. As Simons will look up for a better play for the Gales. Gales offense just can't get that one. So that one was deflected. So the Gales have 9 seconds to work with for hauling the trigger to the right of the basket. Oh, nice little sneak by move there by Simons. Her defender, Herlihy, just was off of the cutting Simons there, and that's a good find by Bree, already with 2 assists. Over to Wolf, and now to Herlihy. Herlihy, a good post that can shoot it and can also get it down, and that one was way off by Hay as it was off the glass and had no chance as it reached the iron. Holland, the aggressiveness there. Calling out for movement on the opposite weak side. And Holland will take a tough jumper. And boy, Holland was fading to her left and somehow got that one to fall through. Holland with her first bucket as she struggled on the road trip. First at BYU, Holland only had 2 points where she went 1 for 13. And then in that contest against Pacific, she shot 2 for 17, but nice for that mid-range jumper to fall through for Maddie. With Simonich on the steal on the other end. Simonich really filling up her box score. That one is stolen away by Wolf. She's in transition. She has Hay on the opposite side. She'll just go up with the inside hand finish for Emily Wolf. Wolf now has 5 points on 2 of 3 shooting. Able to save that one. Cross-court pass. Holland has all day and sets her feet and fires for 3. Boy, the Gales 3-point shooting early on. 3 for 3 from the 3-point range as the Gales have made their last 5 buckets. A perfect 5 for 5 for SMC.
Maddie, what a home opener here, 64-43. The first half, not necessarily the way Gales basketball was. What was the difference there in the second half?
I think we just came into the locker room and talked about how we really need to move on offense and be active on defense, and I think that's what we did in the second half. We were in our gaps, we were in our help on defense, we were getting O boards, D boards, and then on offense we just had to share the ball for each other. We were not taking the best shots, and so in the second half, Coach told us we need to take shots for the team, not for ourselves, and I think that's what we did.
And another great rebounding margin for you all in this game. You guys had a total of 53 rebounds, out-rebounding your opponent by 17 in that first game in Nevada at 16. You guys obviously lose the 2 starters last year in Sid and in Megan, but how are you all able to still get those rebounding margins up, especially today with Bree in her second start? She had 10 rebounds.
Yeah, I mean, that girl's very athletic, so Coach just told us at the beginning of the year we have to make up a lot of things on offense and defense, and one of that thing is rebounding. So I think a lot of people have stepped up in those roles and getting O boards and D boards, and I think we're doing a pretty good job of doing that.
As we'll have Tyron Moy join us here for our post-game interview, the final home game here before we start 2020 here You guys get the start here for the first time this season, Tyra, and the team just played completely well. Talk about the ball movement here this afternoon, and you guys have a season-high assist of 28 of you guys have made 31 field goals.
Yeah, Claire, sorry, this is my first time doing this.
All good, no worries.
Yeah, no, we just knew we had to come out strong because we know Cal Poly is a really aggressive team. So I think this week we really prepared for them by making sure we stick to our foundation. And I think during the second quarter we kind of let up, or second half we let up a little bit, but we came out with the win. And I think, yeah, going into this week we're gonna have to just focus on Kansas University. So.
And after talking to Sam last game out and talking to Coach Thomas before pregame, he said that you guys have been communicating more in a more efficient manner compared to previous practices. What are your thoughts on that, and do you see this team meshing well before you all head to West Coast Conference play?
Yeah, for sure. I think during the season we definitely, communication is one of the things that we always struggled with. And I think as we're getting into regular season play, we're kind of getting more of a tone for like how we respond to each other too. So I think it's just knowing how and who responds well to what and what kind of things we need to keep working on like going forward into the season.
And arguably one of the best defensive performances here as the team. You guys were able to suffocate and force a lot of pressure in the perimeter up front. Ellis started to heat up there in the second half, but talk about the defense there at the perimeter, which forced it to be difficult to feed it down low on the entry passes.
Yeah, for sure. I think this week we really emphasize being big on the post because they have pretty big girls. Cal Poly especially have some 6'3" girls. So I think just doing our work early, pushing them out, not letting them get to their spot. And I think we did a decent job on that in the beginning, and then towards them kind of let up a little bit. But either way, we finished out with a pretty strong win.
You guys excited there for Kansas, the 7-0 team, one of the better records there in the RPI. We won't see you guys here back home in a month, so happy holidays, Tyron. Congrats on the win here.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate your time. As the Gales will win it here and improve their record to 500 here, going 4-4 as they'll be back home here January 2nd. Towel giveaway here inside McKeon Pavilion. We will see you next time there. Tyra Moy, our player of the game with 9 points. The leading scorer for the Gales, Tacey Whedon with 19, Sam Simons with 17 points, and Emily Cotting, 14 points, 10 rebounds, a double-double as a career-high 13 assists for Maddie Holland. Gales just shooting the lights out with 84 points and season high, 18 three-pointers. You can just look at the numbers and nitpick every single one. The best overall game for the Gales here this season, and they're going in hot on the road for a 5-game road trip, first with a 7-0 Kansas Jayhawks. Final time here inside McKeon Pavilion, 84-67. We'll see you next time on the WCC Network.
And immediately on the attack, right where they left off, and going to the far sideline, that's Micaiah Madison crossing it in over to Jennings. Jennings, the shot! And Jennings, right at the start, not even a minute in, gets the goal for the Dons, and they'll take the lead 1-0. And it was a cross by the tandem, as we've mentioned, and talk about that.
That was picture perfect when it comes to soccer, definitely, Brandon. When it comes to that outside cross, you're definitely looking for the person that's standing just right there in the middle of that box, looking to get a shot. And everybody of the defenders for the Gales was looking at Micaiah Madison, and Jennings was placed perfectly, just waiting for her opportunity, and she got that goal in.
And the 7th goal of the season for Samantha Jennings, the 5th assist for Micaiah Madison. And the Gales on the back line, Anna Parker. And Milner. That stops the streak of shutouts for the Gales, but still definitely plenty of time to tie this one up.
As I mentioned earlier, Brandon, Jalen Krim definitely has to get some more looks in right there. She is one of the star players for the Gales, and she has some more left in her. I feel like she can definitely produce some more, so let's keep an eye out for her for sure.
Jalen Krim with the 8th most shot attempts in the conference. And speaking of her, here comes Krim. Krim on over to Glock. Parker in the back line for the Gales.
That time just back heeling it.
Gonna need a little bit more communication between Santos and Krim there when it comes to situations like that. One of them's gonna have to get that possession and give it off to the other.
And Jennings that time with her 7th goal. That's tied for 3rd in the conference now. On forward, Ko on the ground, no whistle. And on the attack, the Dons again. Off over to Ashley Humphrey, who scored 2 goals against UC Davis the last time out. Just too much and out of touch. A goal kick for Milner.
Hopefully the intensity and the drive does not come down after this goal shot by the Dons for the Gales. Definitely can create some chances still. And there's Madison.
And an opportunity here, and Madison just past Milner. 2-0 now for the Dons. First it was Jennings, and Madison says, I want to do that as well. The tandem with a total of 7 goals apiece, 14 goals for the 2, and it's 2-0.
Milner probably back there talking to her defense, letting them know that they cannot forget about those 2 and what they're capable of doing.
In the first half, that was all defense. The second half here, all offense, and coming by the way of this Dons team. Not even 3 minutes in, and 2 goals allowed by the Gales defense. Gales again, a perfect 5-0 at home. Looking to keep it that way, but with 2 goals down, it's going to be a tough task. On Jalen Krim there. That's Marie Marlowe. Over to Keely Roy. Roy tries to get this to Humphrey, and there's the help by Prentice and Malia Allison. And the whistle there. They'll take the kick. It'll be Anna Parker. 8 shots for USF with 3 shots on goal. 4 shots for the Gales with 1 shot on goal. A goal for Jennings and a goal for Madison. That's Watson, who was stellar in the first half defensively. Sent forward, that was Hilligoss.
The Gales are also going to have to clean up their touches, Brandon. It doesn't even look like they can even control a pass as of right now. I just saw Kylie Gluck and Vanessa Gayetan make mistakes on the ball. And if they want to keep the possession, they're going to have to clean that up.
And also that time from Parker, clearing it the wrong way. So it'll be a corner kick for the Dons, and another opportunity. Keely Roy, we saw how dangerous she was there on the corner kick in the first half. Watch out for Humphrey there on the outside. Ball off the post there, it looked like. Or off a deflected player. Still outside, taking the shot now, high and right through, upper corner. An electric strike by Keely Roy. Not only was she not going for the assist that time, but now she has a goal on her record, and it's 3-0.
Yeah, just like I told you, Brandon, she has a lot of capabilities there as a center mid, controlling that middle, but also not being afraid to get a goal for herself. And that was just beautiful. Top left corner there, beautifully placed, beautifully clicked by their Keely Roy. So my hat's off to her for that.
And Keely Roy with her 2nd goal of the season as they just came off the huddle there. What could they be saying there for the Gales? How do you regroup from that, allowing 3 goals to start off the first half?
Like I told you, they're making the most minor mistakes right now, and those definitely need to get cleaned up. First of all, for it even to get to the point where they need to make a tactical plan. The little things need to get fixed first, and hopefully things will then build up and create some more chances for them, but it's not looking good right now.